Kyle Shanahan, all-time great season as head coach of the 49ers.
I think it's his finest work.
This is the year Shanahan, he delivered.
Yeah, and I was saying it to Madsen, which is a wild sentence to say. He has cemented the fact that unless some wild stuff happens, he's going to be here longer than any coach in the history of the 49ers.
I think he could go on the 10 to 15-year run with the Niners, at least.
Well, he's already been here 6.
Yeah, it's 7
so
years.
He's
going to be here a long time.
I mean, Mike Tomlin right now, what is he, 15 years
16 years. Shanahan could have a Belichick-type run here. Now you got to win rings, I get it.
Of course.
But Shanahan's, and we had this discussion last year. I don't think his seat was ever hot. And even this year, I said, look, he's not going to get fired. But I thought in a wide-open NFC, you had to make the playoffs this year. They did that going away.
I mean,
they did that going away.
With a lot of things not falling their way. I mean, again, everyone's like, well, Debo's fresh and healthy, but plus, yeah, but he wasn't great in the regular season.
No, he wasn't.
And by his standards, because I believe him to be a great player.
Right.
The Christian McCaffrey trade, the guts to do that, incredible. And from the organization top down, obviously, the ability to do this with 3 different quarterbacks, with 2 essentially rookie guards, and then another guy who
unproven center.
I mean, he had a monster year for given how bad I thought he was heading into the year. McGlinchey had a bounce back season. I look at the defensive line. You missed Armstead for periods of time. Bosa went down for a while. You really didn't have a pure person that you could plop opposite Bosa every single play. They kind of rotated that position, and you got the best out of a young man, Drake Jackson, Ibukam, Hyder. Like, you squeezed the lemon. Greenlaw had a monster year. Fred Warner had a bounce back year. And then you played around with Jimmy Ward playing slot corner, most interceptions ever in his career in a season. Gibson playing in the safety.
Way, real quick, Jimmy Ward after the game. He's giving me Richard Sherman vibes.
He's already on his...
he's giving me Richard Sherman vibes. Already talking about, I'm looking... I don't like that. Anyway, keep going.
No. It's just... And then Hufanga, who started off great, it showed some slippage. I think we identify the big misses, which there are a lot of them, but he's a solid player. I think he's a really solid player. I think he's better than Tart, period.
And he's got the most out of George Kittle. George Kittle became a red zone threat. Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey. You see the last 4 weeks of the season, Kittle, 18 catches, 265 yards, 7 touchdowns. How much did we complain about George Kittle not being a red zone threat? All of a sudden, he's been unlocked. He's been unlocked. And remember the last couple times against Seattle, up in Seattle.
Killing them.
Killed him for 4 touchdowns.
Here's the element of his game. We talk about this in basketball and in baseball. Like baseball, I'm going to do a new pitch. Basketball, I'm going to learn to finish with my left around the rim better. You know what I mean? Like Steph Curry, every year has he added elements to his game?
Absolutely.
Right? Like he's added obviously to his physical physique, like his strength is clearly there. The conditioning always there. But like finishing around the rim has been an element he's added. I think Klay Thompson this year has added more. Take a couple dribbles, pass to somebody in the lane. Like, he's done a really good job. That was not in his bag a couple years ago. I didn't know George Kittle had the footwork around the sidelines like I've seen this year. And that's an element of being a red zone target that I didn't think he had in the bag.
Not only that, because that's a great point.
He added that.
Not only that, I think he's actually gotten better at going to get the football.
High-pointing it.
High-pointing the football. I complained about that for years.
Agree.
Travis Kelce, what makes him a difference maker is he goes up there and goes and gets it. Whenever Darren Waller gets on the field, that's a problem when he doesn't get on the field. When he gets on the field, he goes up there and gets the ball. He high points it. George Kittle, high pointing that football over Isaiah Simmons, who I like that at Clemson, but he can't cover cold.
Well,
I mean, he can't guard anybody. But Kittle with the footwork on that touchdown and going to get it up in the air, going to get the ball at his highest point, I think he's gotten tremendously better at.
And did you think heading into this year, because you and I, like, you got to use him in the red zone. They used him in the red zone, and Brock and Jimmy had some beautiful layered throws over coverage to him, but I felt like going into the year, I felt like we saw the best of George Kittle. Yeah. Like, if you were asking me, Joe, can he get better? Is he going to stay the same, or is he going to slightly decline? I'd probably go, he missed the first couple games of the year. He's probably going to start to show some decline. Now I'm looking at him like, I don't even know if we've seen the best of George Kittle. I still think there's another layer as a pass catcher.
I think we're seeing the best of George Kittle, not only because of Brock Purdy. I'm going to give Brock Purdy his credit.
He's been awesome.
He did look shaky in the first half.
Shanahan and CMC.
Shanahan, just led me to my point. It's the biggest difference maker of the season. At the time we discussed this trade, people thought we were insane. Bonte, they don't have the money. Bonte, you can't give up picks. You got to keep picks. You got to keep stacking picks. You got to build the depth of the roster, blah, 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 blah. They make the big-time move for Christian McCaffrey because this is something that we noticed this in the NFC early early on. The NFC's wide open.
Yes.
Philadelphia, okay, cool. Nobody really believes in the Cowboys.
Oh, I know. I'm telling you right now. I'm taking Tom Brady to beat the Cowboys.
Yeah,
I'm
nobody
raising my
believes in the
hand
Cowboys.
now. I'm telling everyone. And don't sleep on Tom going to Philadelphia and winning that game.
So, couple things with the Dallas Cowboys. I heard Herm Edwards yesterday on First Take. That's how bored I was. I had First Take on.
Ooh.
Herm Edwards was like,
you were down and out.
I was down and out. But Herm Edwards said something that Guru texted me Christmas Eve when they were playing the Tennessee Titans. Guru texted me, goes, the Cowboys aren't a grass team. They're a team that plays better on the fast track. I swear to God, Chasky. Herm Edwards yesterday on First Take goes, Dallas don't play well on grass. And guess what Raymond James Stadium is? It's a grass surface. I was dying. I sent that to Guru. And I was like, come on, man. Half the league has grass. You can't play on grass.
Monte. That is like a golfer saying, I only play in Bermuda. I don't play in that in Fescue. I'm a Bermuda golfer. I can't putt on Poa annua. It's like different grass types. Right, it's like, get the hell out of here.
So I don't believe in the Cowboys. But that's why I thought this was a year the Niners should go out there and shake it up and make a big boy move. Who's out there? Can you go make a blockbuster? Yeah. Christian McCaffrey became available.
Yes.
That, to me, is the difference in this entire offense. By the way, the Road to Glendale is brought to you by Merrill West Credit Union. Working for you today, tomorrow,
those
and
got
together.
Me. Those got me on Monday and Tuesday. They're all over the place.
Lubman told me 6 minutes ago, hey, in the box, check it out. Read.
Lubman's favorite thing to do, I noticed this when I was driving the mothership, and I was not doing a good job. So, unlike the Millennium Falcon that kind of drives itself.
Yeah. Dude, you did a good job.
That doesn't happen. Here's the problem. I'm talking, and then Lubman gets in my ear while I'm talking, and I'm trying to listen and talk. This is just very difficult.
And that's me on television. Sacti does it. It happens all the time. It's you got to get used to it.
I know, and I'm not. I can't. Well, this is where see. Look, but some people know their roles. Like Vontae, see me. Like I'm not a Z receiver, right? All right, like to go. X, Y, Z.
Stop. You're the slow white guy slot receiver. You know Wes Walker.
Exactly.
That's seriously. So McCaffrey.
Yes.
They swung big because this NFC is wide open, and you get Christian McCaffrey. To me, he is the reason why George Kittle's wide open in the red zone and getting one-on-one opportunities. He's the reason why Brandon Ayuk is flourishing in one-on-one coverage.
The Curry gravity.
It's the Curry gravity. Christian McCaffrey, folks, and he put on a show Sunday against Arizona. He put on a show. He's a tone setter. His jump cuts are remarkable.
Yes.
The screen game and him in open space, he knows how to sub his blockers. He's not easy to bring down. He breaks tackles for such a short, small guy.
Oh, he's so much powerful than you think.
He's so powerful.
And so much tougher.
So strong, so compact. Christian McCaffrey was the difference in the entire NFC. The Niners made that move, and it went from maybe a sixth-place team in the NFC to a fifth-place team to now saying, you know what? They may go to the Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback.
I've got 5 teams I think that can win the Super Bowl. That's me. Cincinnati, Buffalo, Kansas City. And then on the other side, Philadelphia and the 49ers.
Yeah.
Those are the 5 teams I think can win.
It's crazy because I saw some rankings yesterday floating around about quarterback rankings. A lot of people had Brock Purdy as a worst-ranked quarterback in the postseason. And I was okay with that. I was like, you know what? That may be fair because you don't know what you're going to get in the playoffs. But this team is built so well with their defensive line, their defense, and you have weapons around him to where Purdy, he doesn't need to throw more than 25 times a game in the playoffs.
That would be the same thing if Jimmy Garoppolo was there.
Exactly.
Which is a byproduct of the roster and the philosophical way they play football. On the Christian McCaffrey thing, I heard Rod Smith. Did you listen back to the Robert Smith? Did you listen back to the broadcast?
Chris Myers.
Chris Myers terrible, but did you listen back to it?
I did.
Okay. He was talking about strides and how Christian McCaffrey, the way he shortens up his stride and then goes to full speed, it's like a track star, the way they're coming around and they have certain angles and stuff. He was describing it from the running back position, and I'd never heard it put that way, but the way that he and then all of a sudden, like his feet slow down and he does the little choppy steps, and the next thing you know, he's in full stride within 1 or 2 steps. Like the way he said it was brilliant, and then he times the block setups just right. The guy he was born to play running back in the Shanahan system.
And it's a reason why we were so excited when they made that move. So excited when they made that move because, look, I know a lot of people still believe a running back's not going to lead you to the Super Bowl. Yeah, your quarterback has to play great. Your quarterback has to be – he can't turn the ball over. He has to complete third downs. He has to move the sticks. He has to sustain drives. He's got to make money throws. And Brock Purdy is going to have his moment to where he's got to make plays. And so far, he's done that. But the reason why he's done that, I think why it's been so, I'm not going to say easy for him, but the gravity of Christian McCaffrey, man. This is why I wanted a home run hitter out of that backfield. This guy plays a slot. He plays out of the backfield. He runs between the tackles. And now you got Elijah Mitchell and Jordan Mason running hard behind him.
Jordan
and
Mason.
That's the difference. Now, let's go play bully ball. Let's go play. I want McCaffrey with 20 carries out the backfield. I want Elijah with another 10 to 12. And then give Jordan Mason some cleanup duty and give him 8 carries.
How many yards do you think Jeff Wilson Jr. had for the Dolphins after the trade?
Oh, under 300.
It was about 300.
Yeah.
You know how many Christian McCaffrey had for the 49ers? 1,100 total scrimmage yards.
I know.
Ball, man.
I mean, come on.
They haven't lost a game since he started.
I mean, and
that is
Jordan
the
Mason,
difference maker. So don't ever tell me, I don't ever want to hear ever again, moving forward in the NFL, running backs matter.
Oh, they're
running backs matter,
dramatically
folks.
important.
Now, quarterback, you need a quarterback. No doubt about it.
Of course.
But running backs matter.
Of course. I agree with that. The Niners are just in such a good spot right now. Christian McCaffrey's a stud. I listened to Brock Purdy at the podium. Grant Cohn asked him a question. Is it easier to play quarterback in the NFL than you thought? As in, like, comparing the college to the NFL. And Brock gave a really interesting answer, and he was like, in college, I was asked to do so much more, and I had to do much more, and it was more frenetic. When you are surrounded with so many playmakers, I don't have to do so much, and I'm able to just check down and take the easy play, and if I hit these guys in stride, they make all the plays happen. And it's crazy, because in your mind, like, if you think about it, Ayuk and Debo, Juwan Jennings on third down, George Kittle, you got Juice, you got CMC. It's a loaded roster. I think this is the best weaponry they've had since the 90s.
No doubt. No doubt. And that's why I was excited for Trey Lance coming into the season. And even with Jimmy, because we mentioned this with Jimmy, this is the best set of weapons he's had. And that was before Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And now you add in Christian McCaffrey. I got 3 capable running backs now. In Jordan Mason, Elijah Mitchell, Christian McCaffrey. Deebo Samuel's now back. All right? They'll work in Deebo. George Kittle's playing at an all-pro level right now. He's now coming up that ladder as like one of the best tight ends in pro football. I didn't know that at the start of the season. Now George Kittle's playing at a high level. And again, Brandon Ayuk, Shasky. So the Niners have taken J.J. Stokes in the first round. They've taken Rashad Woods in the first round. They've taken Michael Crabtree. They've taken A.J. Jenkins. Dante Pettis in the second round. You've taken John Taylor in the second round. Think about that draft in 85, 86, back-to-back years. You end up with Jerry Rice and John Taylor.
Yeah.
Now, you look at 2019 and 2020.
And Charles Haley.
But I'm just focusing on wide receiver.
Yeah.
Wide receiver.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on that. Rice and Taylor, 85, 86, back-to-back seasons. 2019, 2020. You end up with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk.
It's an incredible draft.
And Brandon Ayuk, if he balls out in this postseason, to me, would already be what's the word?
No, he'd be better than Crabtree.
He'd be better than Crabtree.
Because Crabtree had the one great year. Now, he was solid in his rookie year, but the one great year, which was the year he caught 85 balls for 1,200 yards, and that was the year they had Randy Moss opposite him with Vernon Davis underneath.
So he had 85 for 1105 in the regular season that year, 2020.
How many touchdowns? 7, 8?
7 or 8.
Yeah.
So he started scoring, and I remember him wanting to get a chance to make plays. If Brandon Ayuk balls out in this postseason, he'd already surpassed Crabtree, in my opinion, on the pecking order of all-time 49er wide receivers. He's already surpassed J.J. Stokes.
Yeah.
J.J. Stokes never had a season where he had more than 770 yards receiving.
Okay, I'm gonna go. This is off the top of my head. If we were ranking them in no order, but if we were ranking them, the guys that are be above Ayuk already, just in my head, Rice, Owens, JT, Freddie Solomon, Dwight Clark, okay, R.C. Owens, Gene Washington, absolutely, number 18. Come on, you got to get in there. And then I think he's right in there. We've had an unbelievable run of wide receivers.
Unbelievable. But you had an unbelievable run of bad wide receiver luck. Bad drafting. Jalen Hurd, Dante Pettis.
Yeah.
I mentioned A.J. Jenkins.
I mean, come on.
All right, A.J. Jenkins' career, he finished with 17 catches, 223 yards. Rashawn Woods finished his career with 7 catches, 160 yards, and 1 touchdown. He's a Biletnikoff Award winner.
Well, so was Crabtree, 2-time. But here's the thing that with Rashawn Woods, they should have took Vince Wilfork that year.
I know. So Brandon Ayuk, shout out to him. I think he's the best pure wide receiver. I thought that coming into training camp. He had a great training camp, and he came in and balled out. Congrats to him on his first 1,000-yard season. And this is a running football team. It's not like they're throwing the ball around 40 times a game. They're running the ball down your throat. And the fact that he was able to get over 1,000 yards receiving, be a weapon, his route running is exceptional. He's got some dog in him. He's a tough dude. This has been a great year for Brandon Ayuk. Think about where we were last year heading into November with Brandon Ayuk being in the doghouse, and we're blaming Shanahan, and we're all pissed off about Ayuk not being used. Now look at him. He's going to turn out to be the best first-round pick for the 49ers at the wide receiver position since 1985 when they drafted Jerry Rice.
That's a big sentence. That's crazy.
It's crazy to think about, right? By the way,